Are we doing? Is the bingo bango bongo thing a thing now?
No, I think that's just like a one-hit wonder.
Bingo bango bongo. Brian doesn't like my bingo bango bongo.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This week we have a special guest, Tony Bernard, over here.
Tony, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How you doing? I'm good.
Actually, this is our friend Anders, and Anders decided to join us this week, and we're going to talk a little bit about crypto. We're going to talk cigars. We're going to talk rest areas.
We're not going to talk about it. We don't know anything about crypto.
Anders actually had a great idea this week to talk about what's BS or what's bullcrap. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that.
I think it's safe to say that people know what BS is. You don't have to sugarcoat it any other way. Bullcrap, BS, it's all the same. BS. What is BS?
Yes.
Times two, right? Times two. What are two things you think are BS?
It could be anything.
And by the way, so to our listeners, to our followers, why don't you comment on that? What's BS to you? What do you think is BS?
Yes. Like, subscribe below, and tell us what you think is BS.
Keeping it light, not political, and definitely not COVID-ish.
That's right, because we are the antidote. We don't talk COVID here. It's 2019 in B squared land.
Might even be 2016. Could be 2002.
Speaking of B squared, Anders helped us update our logo. And on that note, since we joined you last week, we are now live with official B squared swag at bsquared.us. So check it out. Buy a mug, buy a hoodie, buy a hat. We even have golf polos. It's some good stuff.
Swag. More to come. Definitely. Did you say golf polos?
We're live. There's golf polos.
Oh, yeah. We've got some golf stuff coming, by the way.
And now through January 31st, buy anything on the site, you get a second product of your choice for 50% off. Half off. Money. Or lack of money. Less money. Spend less money. Get more stuff.
So, Brian, what are you smoking today?
Today I'm smoking the La Galera. This is a very good cigar. I normally smoke the smaller version of this, but you know what? Today felt like a good day to go big. So
would you like to explain to the audience how you explained that cigar to me last night? Probably not.
No.
That's outside of our purview, but
we'll keep it PG.
You can all imagine how I described the cigar to Bruce last night.
There's so many comments to make. I just have to let it all go. So many funny thoughts. I'm smoking my go-to, my always smoke every day, Jaime Garcia, which is also my father line. Which if you're watching us, you're starting to see a theme from me. I smoke my father's are my favorite line of cigars. They have multiple cigars. So once again, I don't smoke anything but thick and heavy cigars. And this one, you look at the gauge, that baby. Look at that. She's a good one.
You know, I think there's even a thing in this book here that'll tell you the exact gauge. I'm not going to try to find it right now.
This is called the Super Gordo.
Yours is like, that's about a 54, 58?
Something like that. I want to say it's 60.
Yeah.
I want to say it's 60.
It's probably pretty close to 60.
It's a big one.
It is.
Big one.
Anders, what are you smoking today?
I'm smoking a Rocky Patel 60. First time I've tried it, it's smoking pretty good. I usually don't like Connecticut wrappers, and I don't like Maduro. This is always middle of the road, and we'll see how it goes.
Middle of the road, middle of the day, probably a good play.
You know, we approached the owner of the place where we buy our cigars. We thought he would be happy about the fact that we gave him some free plugs on last week's episode. And we're just like, hey, throw us a cigar. We're advertising for you for free. And he declined.
He did decline. So what you heard last week, where we used to buy our cigars, unhear that.
Yeah.
We're moving forward.
Or the other option is go to that business's Facebook page, CDA Pipe and Cigars.
Oh, you plugged them again, just like that.
Yes, but here's why.
Okay.
Talk about how much you enjoy the B Squared podcast and how you think that it would be best for him and for his business if he sponsored this podcast, since that's where we literally get all our cigars. Just flood his Facebook page with comments. Say anything you want.
Please. Please.
Well, the beauty of it is,
Just do my heart
he doesn't
so
even
good.
read those. His wife does.
So we'd be getting called from his wife.
Oh, that's okay
Yeah.
then. You told me you had a story. It involved.
Oh dear Lord, I have to tell this story. This happened over in Spokane, Washington.
Not to name any
Unbelievable.
names.
I can't even fathom this. Like, I get a call from a rental company that we do work for, and she says to me, "You're a plumber. Somebody pooped on the stairs. Can you or will you go clean that up, or what can I do?"
That's weird.
So I
First
assume.
of all, who poops on stairs? I mean,
Well, it's
are you like, is it you're on your way back up to your apartment and I mean, I guess I get that. You're going to stop and drop?
Haven't you ever been in an emergency poop situation like that?
Oh boy, have I.
How do you know it's not dog poop?
Well,
That's true.
I can't clarify whether it was dog poop or not, but the story's funnier if it's human poop, so. We're calling it human poop.
Yeah.
I didn't go clean it up because I'm not a cleanup company. Even though I'm a plumber, that doesn't mean we clean up poop.
I'm curious why they thought a plumber, why that would be added to your services.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too. I told her, I said, well, don't you think you should call disaster cleanup?
Your marketing guy is probably playing a trick on you. He probably added poop cleanup to your website.
Oh, I should go look at that. You're probably right. He doesn't like me. Well, yeah.
How was Christmas?
Christmas was tainted and different this year. Yeah, but it was good. I mean, we got to go up and hang out with family and see people we don't see that often. So yeah, it was good. It was just different.
Yeah, mine was good too. Lots of family. I think the kids had probably 4 different Christmases between aunts and uncles and grandparents,
Right.
home. But they always love Christmas. My kids are 7 and 4, so they
Smoking myself out here.
they love Christmas. How about you, Anders? How was your Christmas?
It was pretty good, low key, as usual. Not much going on. Got a new golf bag. Like it.
Nice. So last week in the comments, we had a comment from a viewer who was talking about rest areas, responding to our request to tell us about your favorite rest areas. And she said that the rest stop between Coeur d'Alene and, Moscow. Coeur d'Alene and Moscow.
Plumber
Plumber
Moscow.
and Moscow.
There's only one on that stretch.
Yeah, it was her favorite. And it's funny because we have some experience at that rest stop, and I think even Anders has some experience with that
Did we
rest
not
stop.
chat about that last week? About
No, we didn't.
Oh my gosh, we did not.
No, we
That
meant
is
to.
correct.
We meant to.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, we didn't chat about that. Who left that comment?
Michelle.
Michelle. Sorry, we skipped you last week. We didn't mean to. Yeah. Anders, you have a little tidbit.
Yeah, I mean, I was just hanging out there, like,
You take it out the rest stop.
no.
Apparently, Anders is taking the rest area thing to a whole new level.
He's
Above our level, apparently.
clearly our number one super fan over here.
It's like any opening. Yeah. No, I was waiting there for a buddy. We were going to go elk hunting. And it was like 4:30 in the morning, and 2 people were sitting there, and they were cleaning the rest area.
So wait, 4:30 in the morning? There's people there.
Yeah. Husband and wife. And they were kind of looking at me, and my car was idling because it was cold. And they came over and talked to me, and they go, "What are you doing?" And I go, "Well, I'm waiting for a buddy. We're going to go hunting." And she goes, "Oh, we live just on the other side of the ridge here, and this is where all the elk go." And she told me about all the elk patterns and where to hunt them and everything. Of course, I didn't take her advice and went hunting on our own.
Your own excursion.
Yeah, we saw elk, but I didn't shoot anything. So,
Mr. Andrews is a trophy hunter.
I'm not, and I'm not a trophy hunter.
You're gonna get a lot of hate. So we stopped there once. It was a few years ago, and we were in Bruce's rig. And
Well, you should define that way more because that's a huge part of the story.
Oh, that's a good point.
We were in Bruce's rig, which is a Chevy Tahoe. There was
no third row seats in the Tahoe.
Seven of us in there.
I think there were
4, 5, 6. 6 of us. So a Tahoe is only 5 seats. So somebody was in the back.
Yep, that would be our friend Mark.
Mark.
And I just remember we're all driving down to see a Washington State Cougars game, and that was the game that Brian Halliday got hurt on. If you remember,
leg? He broke his leg?
I think he broke his leg. Yeah. And it was pouring rain and snow. It was like sleeting, just dumping, and it was terrible. The seat that we booked, we went cheap, and so we had this seat in the corner of the stadium down there in Pullman, and there was a big metal post right in front of our section. We couldn't even see the game.
It was the most horrible experience maybe ever. Sleet, rain, snow, can't see the game.
But it was still fun.
It was a blast, but
we're all driving back from, and I'll show you the picture here. But we're all driving back from Pullman, and we stopped at this rest stop, and we all just pile out of the Tahoe.
Not just pile out, but it looked like a scene from Fast Times at Ridgemount High when they were smoking dope in the van because everybody was smoking cigars and just fluming out of the Tahoe. That's crazy.
It wouldn't surprise me if the fire department had been called. Yeah. And then, of course, Mark in the back, he's just like, sitting there like, "Oh, here I am, crawling out, with this."
Classic.
It was pretty classic. Yeah. It was fun.
That's our rest area story for the day. That's all we got.
That's a pretty good one, though.
It is a good one.
Thank you for the comment. Anyone else have any other comments on favorite rest areas? I'm sure we have experience with said rest area because we are the rest area connoisseurs.
We are. We might even have a rest area tour this summer. In fact, we will. Probably summer, fall, somewhere in there.
Actually, in April, we're taking a trip down to Scottsdale, so we'll make sure to vlog that whole thing. And we'll also...
Are we? That's right. Yeah.
We'll also capture the rest stops. Between here and there. Of course, we have a 16-hour drive on day one, so we're only stopping if absolutely necessary. But we can capture it from the freeway as we drive by.
I'll stop. Don't worry. I stop at most rest areas. Tiny bladder.
So, moving on from rest stops, one of the areas these days that is like super crazy hyped and all that is crypto. Bruce, do you own any crypto?
I do.
I do too.
I have a little bit of crypto.
I have like 0.00000000001 Bitcoin.
Yep.
Like 600 Dogecoin and some of that. What's that other one that's kind of
own Dogecoin?
Yeah, and Shiba.
Oh my gosh. Shiba. You own Shiba too?
Yeah, I own all the crap coins.
Brian doesn't own real Bitcoin. That's a joke. That is a joke.
No, I own Bitcoin. 0.000000001.
Yeah, you did discover that. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's true.
That's like $1,000 Bitcoin. Maybe not quite that.
You hope someday.
Yeah, one day. Yeah, I would agree.
But it was really our friend Anders that got us interested in crypto, and the guy, he knows a ton. Obviously, like no investment advice or anything like that, but we just wanted to talk to Anders about what crypto is, really what it is, and why is he so interested in it, and what are some of the fascinating things about crypto that you really enjoy?
Yeah, and ask questions as we move through this, because there's too much to cover in just one sitting. But I think generally a lot of people are married to the idea of a conventional type of monetary system. And when we talk about centralization, we talk about government control. And the idea of digital assets, I don't like to use cryptocurrency because it creates kind of a,
Can I ask you a question? So you're saying government control. So are you referring and saying that standard stocks and bonds that you would invest in is under government control, where crypto is not?
You're just talking about the Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve. So that centralization, that embodies the idea in the form of centralization, just like the International Monetary Fund is centralized, and all the international banks are centralized, and they can print money, they can control money, they have brokerages within the Federal Reserve where they control stock prices, things like that. So there is existential control in the stock market. And they also control the silver and precious metal market. And everybody manipulates that, like JP Morgan. The idea of digital assets is, especially with Bitcoin, is a store of value. So it's like gold, but it's digital gold.
Okay. So just because I don't know very much about crypto in general, so you're going to, so if you invest in, let's just use Bitcoin, because everybody's heard about Bitcoin by now. Will that be a coin or a digital currency that you'll be able to use and walk into a store and buy X product?
Yeah, I mean it's that's been happening for a long time. Where you have apps on your phone, you could go and they now have Bitcoin tellers, all kinds of things. In my opinion, that's a waste of Bitcoin. You wouldn't want to buy a cup of coffee for Bitcoin.
But
you can do that.
Okay. All right.
And so now you have whole countries adopting Bitcoin as part of their monetary system, El Salvador and places like that. And the antithesis of that is that you have other countries that are banning Bitcoin because it's a threat to their centralized way of doing business.
So, which means lack of control from them.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there's and I don't know a lot about crypto either, but my understanding is you have really two types of coins. You have kind of the mainstream coins, and then you have what's like an altcoin. How would you define an altcoin, and how does that compare to something like Bitcoin?
Well, the alternative coin is we'll probably lose that moniker as well, because everything's being referred to as digital assets, and the reason it is because you have quantitative easing, this high centralized printing of money, and you have digital assets that aren't being affected by inflation, meaning the value of those tokens or coins are not dropping. They're running conversant with inflation, so they're moving up to match inflation. Whereas the value of the dollar moves down, your digital assets tend to gain. So if we're talking about collectively digital assets, you have coins or altcoins, if you want to call them, that do specific work. So you have, say, Solana that wants to take over, decentralized exchanges or have, DApps that are a part of that. And they run 700,000 transactions a second, which blows Visa and MasterCard out of the water, Or you have, like, say, Terra Luna, which provides tokens that are tied to what are called stable coins. So you don't have this big fluctuation in value, and people can tie their value to these stable coins and have an equivalent value in the US dollar. So those are stable coins. So that's just one of the things that altcoins do. And you also have, like, parachains like Polkadot that, do smart contracts, or like Cardano that does smart contracts but also has digital IDs in Africa, or is expanding that to encompass mobile phone use. And so it's really everything's going to go to digital assets. And because they can do work, Web3, Web4, that's all going to be tied to, cryptologic algorithm.
So you believe someday, in the near-ish future, that everything will be run through cryptocurrency? Our entire world will be run through cryptocurrency.
Yeah, digital assets. So, and whatever those are that do specific work or do have value in doing work. So, say like Ripple, which was developed by a centralized bank, that's their idea of capturing the digital asset market, but it's still centralized. So it's anathema to what Bitcoin was created for, which was to get away from centralization.
So I imagine if this is kind of the trajectory we're on with crypto, digital assets, I imagine central governments are probably doing something to adapt to this or resist it. Do you know anything about what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, there's currently, part of that last bill, there was a lot of, the infrastructure bill carried a lot of crypto controls within it. And what we're seeing now is on exchanges in our tax statements is, you better allocate and account for any gains you made on trading digital assets, which would be the same with stocks. And I understand that. I'm not sure that, like other countries like India or China that view it as a threat because they want to have their own digital currencies in place. The U.S. has trillions of dollars in corporate investment into the digital asset space. And we know that corporatism controls America, ultimately. So I don't really I see the government, trying to get money out of that per se with taxes, but all the big players are dumping, I mean, look at it this way. Every month, in terms of liquidity, exchanges are losing, and I should say others are gaining, but they're losing 100,000 Bitcoin a month. And there's a finite amount of Bitcoin, and if you have that much draining out of digital exchanges every month, the whales are buying up because they know it's a great value. Because every top level investor that's way smarter than anybody that I know, I'll say that Bitcoin is so woefully undervalued that the minimum that they peg it right now in terms of value based on inflation rates and cost of the dollar and the world economic scenario is about 1.2 million. That's what they feel that Bitcoin is worth right now per coin.
Wow,
indeed.
Well, I think that's about all the time we have for crypto today. But maybe we'll do a crypto corner type of segment once a month and get some more details. Like and subscribe. Put in the comments what you want to know about crypto. If you have questions, and I think we'll bring this segment back. Oh no, Bruce and I mean, we'll talk about golf, cigars, and football, and burgers.
Rest areas,
of course, rest areas. But we leave crypto to the people that are smart.
Which is not to say that we're not smart. We're just not crypto savvy.
Well, it takes time, and anybody can learn it. It's
So Anders had a great idea this week, and we're going to try a new segment called "Well, That's Bullcrap." So, Anders, what's bullcrap?
What's bullcrap? So two things, and we just.
By the way, I love these answers.
We discussed it, and I was just thinking, it could be anything. Like to me, it's like what's annoying, what's always been annoying for me, and or what's recently most annoying for me, and what's always annoyed me are wool socks. And why does everybody buy into the idea of wool socks being the greatest thing on the planet? And it's not. It's like, it's bullcrap. My dad was like forcing wool socks in us when we were hunting as little kids or fishing. My feet were always cold and they were always wet and sweaty. and wool socks don't work. It's great for over jackets, underneath some, or over cotton. They're good.
I agree. I totally agree with that statement. I hate wool socks. I never wear them. Never.
I don't even own a pair.
Yeah.
Because they're bullcrap.
Well, exactly.
And the second thing is, I don't know why when I first saw it when it came out, because I ride adventure motorcycles, and
I should say
I kind of ride them.
he rides on the highway.
No, that's not true.
To a double track, which is just a dirt road, to get to the next highway.
I rode from here over the mountains
On the highway?
That's on the highway.
It was like rugged stuff. Well, anyway. So, Harley Davidson, which we know, like, abandoned America and went to go build all their stuff offshore because it was cheaper. And so I don't like them for that anyway. They say, hey, we're going to get into the adventure motorcycle market. And they come out with the Panamera. And that thing is 600 pounds of fugly.
Was that fugly?
Fugly.
All right.
And you'll see right here the picture of it. And tell me whether or not you think that bike's fugly versus a BMW GS 850 Adventure. You make the call.
The public will decide.
I have never seen a picture, so
It looks like a motorcycle that crawled out of the 70s and tried to become a baby.
That sounds totally Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
It does. You know what I think is bullcrap? Target. Target is bullcrap.
Oh, let's hear this.
You
Why
cannot.
is Target bullcrap? I love it.
Well, let me rephrase it. I can go into Target and get out of Target spending as little as $1. However, if I bring anyone with me,
No,
and I'm not going to name names here.
No. Let's define that just a little bit. When he says anyone, he means his wife.
She loves Target. I mean, I think that if Target was a person, she would probably leave me for him. Thankfully, Target is a corporate entity, and that's not possible. I used to work at Target. It's a great store. I like it a lot better than, say, like the Walmarts of the world. But every time we go to Target, the bill always seems to be at least $100. So last time we went to Target, and I was kind of joking. I wasn't being serious because I'm not a jerk. But
No, he wasn't being serious. I know this.
I told Kristen, I said, well, okay, I want to get out of here for less than $100 today. So anything you can carry, that's what we'll buy. We're not going to get a cart or a basket, just whatever you can carry. So we're walking around Target, and her arms get fuller and fuller, and eventually we made it about a quarter of the way around the store, and her hands were full. Let's go! Long story short, I ended up getting a cart. And I think we spent $105 that day. Oh, Target.
Over your price.
Target is bullcrap. And I think the other thing that's bullcrap is the fact that Anders is a self-described adventure biker. I mean, sure, he owns a bike and he rides it. And, maybe he's got a little sticker on his bike that says adventure so he can make himself feel better about it.
That's like
I don't
me
know.
saying that I'm a snowmobiler.
Dude, it's brand new. It has 250 miles on it.
Case in point.
Case in point. If you were an adventure biker, that thing would have 10,000 miles on
I
it.
just got it.
Just give you crap.
That's
Bruce.
your number 2?
No, do a real 2.
Do a real 2?
Uh-huh.
That was my number 2.
Oh.
It's bullcrap. Cigars that blow up on you.
Oh, gosh. You
When
just
you're-
took one of my answers. That was my number 1.
When you're
Right
smoking
there.
a cigar and the wrapper starts to just come undone and start blowing up and it's a $20 cigar, that's bullcrap. And then you take it down to the store where you bought it from and they laugh at you because you were stupid enough to buy that cigar in the first place.
So you're smoking $20 cigars?
No, I'm just
Oh, okay.
This is
I'm just kidding. That's why I always go to
Okay.
my buddy's shop because they're 100% good down there.
Yeah, which we won't name. right now until we can get a little
Yeah, sweeten the pot there, buddy.
sweeten the pot. Just a cigar a week. That's all we're asking for. So Brian just took my number one, blowing up cigars. As you can see, this baby, not blowing up.
Smoking well.
Perfect. And actually, I don't have a story, but what do I think's BS? Walmart. Walmart trumps every
Retail.
store
Making the move today.
in being BS across the board, in my opinion. Walmart is quite possibly the worst place you could walk into ever.
I would agree with that. I hate Walmart.
You walk in there, and Karen's standing at the front door. We all know who Karen is. She's got something to say about the card you're about to grab. Well, what did I do wrong? I can tell you what you did wrong. You went to Walmart. Don't go to Walmart. Shop anywhere else. You know what? Shop locally, actually. If you can find local stores, shop there. Spend a little more money. I get it. You're trying to feed your family on a budget. You'll do better shopping at a local store.
Or even better, shop at bsquared.us and buy your, all sorts of gifts on there.
We don't have food yet, but we're working on it. We can brand some food.
Brand a cigar.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, jeez.
It would be my professional advice to get in on these products now before we become ultra famous. Because when we become ultra famous, you're going to have some products that are worth a ton of money because it'll be original B Squared merchandise.
But we'll always be able to answer all of your questions and talk to you. Doesn't matter how famous we are.
That is true.
We're always here for you.
So like and subscribe, share,
Like and subscribe.
click the button, share with your friends.
Yeah.
Go to the website. We've got some pretty sweet products up there.
We've got a lot more gear coming. We just got the website up, so it's
It's a work in progress.
a little bare, but it's coming.
We continue to work on audio and visual quality. Our second set of mics didn't come in time for today's episode.
You can
So-
see our microphones
I
right
got a
here.
little microphone right here. Hopefully that worked today.
Yeah, hopefully the sound is good.
But next week we should have all our mics. We also, and I don't know if she might be too modest to put it in the show, but we have our producer, my incredibly intelligent sister Ruby, producing for us.
The crowd goes wild.
goes whoa.
It was funny. I got a quick little story on that. So my son, back in the day, so when he was growing up, he used to have a crowd track that he would run. Like, I'm not kidding. He would do something he thought was cool, and he would just stop and go until I didn't know what he was doing. I finally asked him, like, "What is that?" And he goes, "It's the crowd cheering for me, of course." I'm like, "That's awesome!" Oh my gosh.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's it for this week. Thank
That's
you
it
for
for this
joining
week.
us.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, share. We'll see you next week.
Peace out from B Squared.